How's it going, everybody? This is Sean, and today I'm going to introduce eBay Scrapy Part 4. So, about this one, we're going to see get related items function. So we will gather the data of the products that is based on the keyword, but it is not just same as the keyword. So before we start it, let's see how it looks like when we run it. And if you have already seen the video in advance of the other videos, then you have seen like we used the eBay SDK that we installed this time. But this time here, we're going to use the classic uh, version, like using the HTML data. So for the users who try to explore BeautifulSoup, then yeah, I hope you can use it too as well. Yeah. So let's say bottle. Okay. Yes. And we have the grab here. Yeah. And yes, we want to have recommendations of related products. And here I didn't like specify other analysis because, well, for the people who want to explore more, then I recommend you to use these top data again and search it with this product again, with this programming file again. So let's start it. Yeah. So we have the app ID. We have the app ID from my app ID function. Well, it's not. It's kind of hard to say my app ID function because you just see it in app ID, putting an ID, and that's not. And then from get keywords from the products information that you typed with the keyword, you will get a category ID. And from the category ID and your app ID, you can run this function. Get related. Let's go up here. And yeah, first, if it is okay, then we can ask, would you like to recommendations of related products? Yes or no? Then if they want yes, like if there's not enough or valuable data above it, or which is not satisfying, then you can see here first. We need to get the URLs first. So for the BeautifulSoup, we gather the URLs with the proper like formats without these blanks or something, and we get the URL, put it as request. API results will be returned, and we also gather this data, this content as XML file. We use the BeautifulSoup and save it as the parse documentation, and like read it. Read especially the item parts. We'll catch out again. So this is the basic process of getting the data by BeautifulSoup into saving into items, and we will use it later again. So let's look at the real parts first. So how do we get these all specific data? So when you go to the API documentation, this time we're going to use trading API. Go to API references, and let's see, merchandising service. Well, it's been kind of time, so I think more yep, most items. Watch items. Watch items. Oh yeah, here. Okay. Merchandising. Wait. Hmm. Apple. What's oh, so this oh, I had a mistake. Like, um, it was not the trading API, but the merchandising API. Because for the oh yeah, I remember that for the trading API, we had to gather the tokens and like make it refresh it all the time when we use the API here. Well, I didn't want to make the complex process of it, including tokens. So I will try to look for other APIs that doesn't need require the tokens. And merchandising API here, they have get most watched items. So you can use this here. There are API from here. And here is all the documents that you can gather. Like you can gather the HTML files. For example, if you have the difficult for my tricks, I used examples to be honest. So if the basic here, like kindly, eBay offer the format of here. So let's say um, merchandising service, operation item name, get most watch items here of this data, most watch items, and from here we can specify merchandising and version. You can put some app ID, the file formats that you want to gather. You can gather the JSON file, but this time I tried the XML file. And next results you can set up as well. So let's see what I have set it. It's kind of hard to see, right? So let me go here just a second so we can easily see. So if you see this one, I would rather also, I actually tried to put um, the code is like this vertical way because it's easier to see, right? It's easy, right? But it didn't work over here. After I put in some like backslash together, it shows it worked, but at that time before it didn't work, so I just temporarily put in the one line. So get most watched items here. You can put the versions if you want, and here customer ID, you will put your app ID that you gather from the my app ID function, and you can I chose XML file. Well, it's fine. You can just see next results. So you will this program will recommend you 20 items, 20 numbers of items based on this specific category ID. This category ID is also gathered by the keyword that you just typed in, so you can have like the related items from based on the keyword. Okay, so you can set up the options kind of, let's say, options like here. And for just in case if you have any like bar blanks within the URLs, then we need to change it to using the percentage 20. It means like the blank in this URL format. So we need to replace it if we need. Get the URL, make a request, API resource here, gather the content of it as XML file with the BeautifulSoup, have the parse doc, and read it with the final of the specific item parts. Item parts was here. So XML file also have the level of it. Let's say I usually understand as level. So from the item part, we just want this watch count. So we don't need to read all these files, but we can just gather this here. Alright? Righty. And here's the same for loop that we and saving the data into the data list, same as the upper parts. Get the keywords analysis part. So we gather the title, category, price, shipping codes, and the URLs if we want to put it on the Django or somewhere else. So if anyone want to get into that exact URL, then we can just put it as a hyperlink. And those URLs sometimes don't have the values, so we can put it as none. And if it is none, then we can put it as blank and string. If else, you can read it as string and the watch count here. Alright, and the same thing we extend is extend is different as append. Like we can put all this the multiple elements values into the list with the extend, and with item info list, one list to append to the data list, the bigger list one. So we can gather 20 numbers of items into item. Once we gather the item information, each of the information, that we can put and save it into the data list. And then we change it to the data frame as data frame, well, and we can print it. So yes, and then you can see it's like the previous one that we have seen. Once we run it, oh yeah, okay. So once we run mouse, I can see the mouse. Yes, there should be the pop-up really good this time. Yes, we're gonna see this. Boom, and the data frame here. And yeah, just same as the upper functions, if you want to edit it, or I don't mind, I really highly recommend you to edit as you can easily use for the sellers. And you can especially look for the watch count if you want to see. And yeah, this definitely will help you to understand the marketplace with the specific keywords analysis, as you see. Alright, then please comment if there is any easier way or the lighter way that it can work. Then please make a comment, and I would love to see you again with the next video with the Django servers that I can manipulate it a little bit to the Django project. And yeah, see you around. Thank you.